Look at this face. What do you see? Look at it, Dad. What do you see? What do you see? Say it. Say it.
Well, I mean, it's a face.
Yeah, but what kind of face?
Pale, pasty, psychotic.
No, Dad. It's a neatly chiseled, well-groomed, drop-dead, handsome face.
Falling off and just put it all over your face. Because you don't want to seem like you have any sort of blemishes. You don't ever want to make anybody think you're not wearing makeup because you can't let people see you without makeup. That's a complete issue. You can't let anybody ever see you without makeup. You have to be perfect all the time. And if you were to have a blemish, God forbid, you will cover it, and I will teach you how to do so. So you just keep applying the makeup.
The San Francisco mom who is injecting her 8-year-old daughter with Botox to get rid of wrinkles. And she insists that she is not the only mom who's doing it. Lara Spencer spoke with the mom, Carrie, and her daughter, Brittany, in a GMA exclusive. And Lara joins us with that story. Hey, Lara.
Yeah, shaking your head. It does sound unreal. A mother injecting her 8-year-old daughter with Botox to prevent wrinkles the little girl thinks she has.
From being in the moment and having breath awareness, I realized that so much tension was stored in my face. And throughout the day, I would take a snapshot just to see what I was doing, how I was holding my face. And often, my brow was furrowed, my mouth and eyes were tense, basically holding facial expressions that I would not consciously choose to be holding. Actually, ones that make a girl look old and ugly over time. My intention is for you to ultimately develop the awareness to watch your face, to notice when you're carrying stress, and most importantly, to let that stress go. I have learned through years of studying and practicing yoga that one of the many benefits of the practice is to physically and mentally reduce the effects of stress and aging.
Fuck, my stomach hurts right now. And honestly, I don't care if I purged. Again, I probably only purged up like 1/10 of my entire binge. The rest of it's still in me doing its dirty work. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. Well, I know what to do. It must necessarily follow that I eat less and exercise over the next 4 days, perhaps. That's what I usually do after a binge, but I'm fucking tired of doing that same shit over and over again. I'm sick of exercising. I'm sick of wanting to be thin. I'm sick of binging. I'm sick of restricting.
Fashion dictates more than you know, including your bikini line. When designers started to reimagine women's swimwear in the 1940s, the leggy cuts were more revealing than ever before. And trust me, no one wants to see stray strands peeking out from a sexy bikini bottom. But let's back up. Why do we even have pubic hair in the first place? Well, there's no clear reason, but there are a few hypotheses. One being that hair indicates sexual maturity.
But Brittany did try out another pageant trend, waxing.
Not only from during sex, but also from certain infections,
super hard to do with that.
Could be an additional shield. Now that we have a better understanding as to why we've got hair down there, let's talk about getting rid of it. All of it. Yes, we're talking about the Brazilian wax. This procedure, which strips all hair off your buttocks, anus, perineum, and vulva, including the labia majora and mons pubis.
So why did you want to get waxed?
Because I just don't think it's ladylike to have hair on your legs.
Even when you're only 8?
But the name isn't the law. Some women want to avoid infections stemming from oily clogged pores and bacteria that can gather in the thick, damp hair. First, the esthetician will typically trim the hair and start with some of the more painful areas. This way, when she moves to the less sensitive areas, you'll feel a surge of relief. You'll find that the buttocks area hurts much less than the fleshy vulva when ripping the coarse hairs from the root. The bikini area is very sensitive, which means there's a greater risk for infection, scarring, and bruising.
Written on singer Pete Burns' face is over 2 decades of plastic surgery. The megastar of 1980s British pop was known for his flamboyant appearance, but nothing prepared the public for the radical experiments Burns conducted on his own face. After the first one, a botched nose job, the surgeries and enhancements just kept piling up. Dozens upon dozens of injections and procedures, steroids, filler, and tissue reconstruction. Now, Nick Watt goes face to face with the man who can't stop changing his.
In 2000, a near fatal decision. A lip implant that would change his face forever, that would take Pete Burns to the verge of death.
I developed rashes and stuff around the mouth from it, and he'd just say, oh, I'll put some steroids in, the rashes will go. And then I developed lumps, and he'd say, that's a deposit of the product. What I'll do is put more product around it and bury it. And he just kept injecting me and injecting me.
I'm going under the knife. I'm having my face replaced. I'm having my face replaced. Don't make me stop. I'm off the up. I'm having my face replaced.
My lip was at least 18 inches away from my face, the lower lip. It was huge, like this big. Just swollen like a ubangi. But when you wake up and your Adam's apple has come out here further than your jaw, and one side of your face is so swollen you can't open your eye, and there's yellow discharge, not just leaking, squirting.
Botox in the bum. I'm having my face replaced. I'm having my face replaced. Don't make me stop. I'm off the up. I'm having my face replaced. You can choose which bits you choose.
With a hiss, it would squirt from my face. It was like one of the worst science fiction or horror movies you could ever see. I went as far as LA and New York to see specialists, and all they could recommend was amputation.
Little hair, they can deal with that as well. I'm having my face replaced. I'm having my face replaced. Don't make me stop. I'm off the up. I'm having my face replaced.
It was removing what amounted to pints of fluid that my body would produce to try and fight this substance that was in me. I had 11 kidney stones, near liver failure, thrombosis, nearly lost sight in one eye, and couldn't eat food. I had to be intravenously fed. So for 2 years like that.
So don't understand, I don't give a damn. I'm having a brand new me. I'm having my face replaced. I'm having my face replaced. Don't make me stop. I'm off the up. I'm having my face replaced.
nobody likes wrinkles. You know, wrinkles is a problem that from time immemorial, it used to be just women that when you hit that certain age, nobody likes. To this date, there's never been a person that's looked into the mirror and seen a wrinkle and said, "Oh, great! Look, I got a new wrinkle on my face." That's never happened. So the benefit is just, it's quite superficial, but the whole idea is to feel a little bit better about who you think you are and infiltrate your skin and look a little bit younger.
What are you underneath?
I'm not about to tell anybody that, but all I will say is that what you see on the outside is a complete contradiction to something that's on the inside. We're all changing something. You're not sitting here unshaven in your dressing gown or stark naked, and I'm not sitting here untouched by the syringe. And a lot of it's just age maintenance, and a lot of it is I get bored and I think I've got to change, 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 I've got to change.